Wow. Hello, hello, and hello again. Welcome, welcome, and welcome again to Megan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast. I am your host, Special K Thoughts, aka Special K, better known in the world of X, formerly known as Twitter. I had to get all of that out of the way. Success Squad, Squatties, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day today. I hope you guys are physically healthy and mentally healthy as well. Because we all know, right? We all know that it's hard out here in these streets. Being a Duke and Duchess of Sussex fan, supporter. But that's okay. That's okay. Because we know at the end of the day that we are a global movement and we know that we have global power and influence. And no matter what the naysayers say, no matter how many times they write articles about the Success Squad, we are going to continue. We are going to continue to keep our foots on their necks. Aren't we, squatties? See, we are built different. If you are a part of the Success Squad, you are built different. We are built different, right? Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they are built different. They are cut from a different cloth. Squatty Success Squad, we are cut from a different cloth. They can't scare us. They can't deny us. They can't minimalize us. We are here and we're not going nowhere. All right. Now that I done got that out the way. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our favorite Duchess, the one and only Duchess, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Now we know that Meghan has had a lot going on this whole summer, right? This whole summer she's had a lot going on. Besides being a wonderful, supportive, loving, nurturing wife and mother, as well as daughter to her mom, Doria, who recently had a birthday. Doria's birthday was September 2nd. So, happy belated birthday to Doria. I'm pretty sure Meghan and Harry spent time with her. I'm pretty sure she got to spend some time with her beautiful grandchildren as well. But like I was saying previously, Meghan's had a very, very busy summer with the debut of With Love Meghan Season 2. And also, I believe, the third seasonal drop of As Ever products. Uh, the third seasonal drop, I actually bought the peppermint tea. I had bought the peppermint tea before and absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, I love, love, love the peppermint tea. I went through those 12 bags in about, maybe a month. So this time around, I had bought the peppermint tea and I had bought my mother the lemon ginger tea. My mom goes through that. I think she drinks tea every day. So I bought my mom some more, as ever, lemon ginger tea. But I hooked her up this time. I hooked my mom up this time. Instead of buying her one, I think I bought her three, so she should be good to go for a while. But I myself, I had bought the peppermint tea and I had bought the shortbread cookie, uh, those sprinkle mix, however you name it. I bought that. I didn't buy the orange marmalade because I'm not an orange person. I don't really eat oranges. So I wasn't too sure if I should buy it or not. So since I wasn't sure, I made the decision not to buy it. Um, but the feedback on the orange marmalade has been outstanding. Everybody who's bought it say that they love it. I'm like, cool, okay. I'm still not really convinced to buy it. Of course, I love the raspberry spread and I love the apricot spread. I just don't see myself liking the orange marmalade. Maybe there are people in the Success Squad community that might convince me to go ahead and buy it, but no, I haven't bought it yet. Um, and I was just looking through my wine supply, and my goodness, uh, done drunk all the bottles of the Napa Valley Rosé, 2023. I think I kind of messed up because I only bought 3 bottles. I probably should have bought 6 instead of 3. Uh, Absolutely, I have bought the Napa Valley Rosé 2024, and I'm gonna need to stock up on that. First of all, I can understand if you're not really a wine drinker, so your 3 bottles is good enough for you. However, I just need to warn you that the Napa Valley Rosé, it's really good. Okay, I don't consider myself a wine drinker, a rosé drinker. Okay, because it's funny with me. It's like I can drink the hard stuff, right? I can drink Patron, I can drink Henny, I can drink the Crown. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 1600 proof. I mean, I can drink, okay. But for some reason, when I drink wine, it really messes with me, right? I get headaches. Um, I tend to get a little faded quicker. So I really don't mess with wine. And it could be the type of wine that I've drank in the past. The really, really good, good, good stuff. That could be it as well. Um, the Napa Valley Rosé, even though it's a high content in alcohol, I realize that once I'm done drinking it, I do not get a headache. Okay, so that lets me know that it's really made in good quality, and it's a good quality type of rosé. So I noticed that I can drink a few glasses and just relax and feel good and not end up with a headache. So anyway, back to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Again, you know, with Love Megan season 2 dropped, debuted August 26th. Some of the naysayers are saying it's an epic failure because it didn't hit the top 10 charts. Chart position does not automatically determine success, especially when it comes to Netflix. I mean, there are so many TV shows and movies that are on Netflix. It's a lot of competition on Netflix. With Love season 2, it hit the top 10 in some countries. It did not hit the top 10 in the United States and the UK. Um, it's my understanding it may have been fluctuating in and out the top 10 in the United States. I'm not sure. However, what I do know is that, in my humble opinion, as long as With Love Megan season 2 entered the top 200 on the Netflix chart, that is a success. There are so many TV shows and there are so many movies that are on Netflix that debut weekly. With Love Megan season 2, it is not a variety show, my bad. It's a lifestyle show. It's a cooking show. Not that many lifestyle shows, not that many cooking shows enter the top 10 on Netflix. It just doesn't happen. And you'll hear naysayers say, oh, well, Queer Eye of the Straight Guy, it was at the top 10. Well, yeah, because Queer Eye of the Straight Guy had a huge built-in audience of millions before Netflix bought it. So that absolutely makes sense why Queer Eye of the Straight Guy would, enter the top 10 on Netflix. It had a built-in audience. It had a huge fan following already. I think Queer Eye of the Straight Guy came out in what, 2000, what, 17, 2018. Netflix bought it. Um, Began to show all the past previous shows, and I believe they did an updated version of that show. So yeah, it makes sense why it would enter the top 10 on Netflix. Um, I don't know what the chart position is of With Love Megan season 2. I've read different articles saying that it's number one in different categories, right? I read somewhere where it was the most watched lifestyle show on Netflix during its debut week. I just read something saying that let me pull this up real quick on my phone here. I just read something saying that With Love Megan was in the top 2% of the Netflix shows most watched last week globally. Because we all know that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is a global phenomenon. So, that makes sense. And, for it to be in the top 2% of Netflix shows most watched globally, kudos to her, right? It goes back to my point that chart position doesn't equal success, um, especially when it comes to a huge, giant, global, international streaming service such as Netflix. So, as far as I'm concerned, With Love Megan season 2 is a success. Season 1 was a success. And, we have the Christmas special to look forward to. And I can't wait for that. I was thinking the other day, like, I wonder who is Megan going to have on her Christmas special. Speaking of guests that you would love to see on With Love Megan's Christmas special, I'm definitely going to say that I would love to see Oprah Winfrey. Yes, Oprah. Oprah. I would love to see her on the Christmas special. It's obvious to me that Oprah, Prince Harry, and Meghan have a committed friendship. I'm pretty sure you guys remember the story that Oprah told about Prince Harry and Meghan bringing the ducks to her home. And when Prince Harry got out of the car, he opened the door and the ducks flew out of the car. And so Oprah, Prince Harry, and Meghan are chasing ducks down the street, trying to get them back in the box so they can give the ducks to Oprah so she can release them in her pond. I just thought that that was so funny. And I really appreciated Oprah sharing that story. I just thought it's criminal that nobody got that on video. Like, really? Like, nobody got that on video? Anyway, back to the subject about celebrities, chefs being featured on With Love Megan's Christmas special. Now, we don't know what the format of this Christmas special is going to be, right? I'm pretty sure they're bouncing back and forth ideas of how they're going to do this. It would be great if they filmed Harry and Meghan going Christmas tree shopping. Wouldn't that be great? That would be a great scene. Um, we don't know if it's just going to be one show, which I have a feeling it is. It's just going to be one show, right? Um, you know, is Megan going to have like her friends and certain celebrities just stop by the house and friendship together over a Christmas meal or make Christmas crafts together? Um, that's a lot, right? That is a lot for just one episode. So we don't know if it's just going to be one episode where, the show was like an hour long, or if they're going to break it down to maybe 2 episodes. I have a feeling it'll probably be one episode that's probably like an hour long. Um, but anyway, like we said, they're in the early stages of developing this, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I would love to see, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. Of course, we would like to see Doria and Prince Harry. We would love to see their children featured. But again, when it comes to the kids, that will be up to Prince Harry and Meghan, in regards if the kids are going to be featured. In regards to more celebrities and chefs, I would absolutely love to see Patti LaBelle on this Christmas special. I'm sorry, but I would love to see Patti LaBelle on this Christmas special. Patti LaBelle is a lot of fun. She's got a big personality, and Patti LaBelle can cook. I would love to see Meghan and Patti LaBelle cooking a dish together. I think it would be great TV. I really do. Another person who was a chef. This is a legendary chef that I think would be great, on the Christmas special is, Emerald Lagasse. I think he would be perfect for with Love Megan's Christmas special. Uh, those of you who don't know, which I'm pretty sure the majority of you do, Emerald Lagasse. I mean, he is a legendary chef. He's from Louisiana. Um, the man can cook. He's got all kinds of seasonings and spices that are for sale. I buy his products. I love to use his rib seasoning. I believe Lagasse's got his own set of pots and I mean the guy is a legendary chef out of Louisiana. Emerald Lagasse. I think he would be a perfect guest on the Christmas special. Emerald Lagasse, he also did a video making Megan's one pot pasta. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see that video? I mean, when I saw it, I literally almost fell out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, wow. Emerald Lagasse watched Megan's um, lifestyle show with Love Megan season one, and he was actually inspired to make the one pot pasta. I mean, wow. I mean, that's awesome. That is awesome. So yes, I would definitely love to see Emerald Lagasse on the Christmas special. So I was speaking to a fellow squatty yesterday, um, about a story that was written about the Invictus Games. Okay, so the Invictus Games are going to be held in the UK, specifically Birmingham. It's a decision that I absolutely do not agree with. However, I do understand that they basically picked the lesser of the two evils because I believe that Birmingham, UK, was up against Washington, D.C., here in the United States. And we all know that, the United States right now is a hellhole, right? It's a burning hellhole. When it comes to the political climate, it's a shithole country. I said it and I'll say it again. When it comes to the political climate in the United States, it's a shithole country. Um, this is a country that's very, very divided to the point to where people are actually losing their lives. So I absolutely understand why it wouldn't be a good idea for the Invictus Games to be held in Washington D.C. Um, so anyway, anywho, I was speaking to this fellow squatty, and like I said, there was an article that was written in the Daily Mail by a royal rodent twat. I'm not going to say his name, but of course, he definitely caps for the royal family. In this person's eyes, the royal family can do no wrong, absolutely no wrong. Um, he's basically a fangirl of the royal family, and he guns for Prince Harry and Meghan. This particular royal twat gossip hack. Um, I think that there is something mentally wrong with this man. I really honestly do. It's my belief that he has multiple accounts on X. I believe a lot of those rural rodent twat, gossip hack, fangirl reporters that write for the Daily Mail, that write for the Sun, that write for the Telegraph have multiple accounts on X. And what they do is that they spew as much negativity as possible about Prince Harry and Meghan. We've caught some of these rural rodent British twat gossip hack fangirls that work for the Daily Mail and the Sun. We've caught them in action posting in their other accounts, because what they do is that they'll post something negative in one of their accounts, and then when somebody responds to that, right, they'll respond in their professional account, forgetting to log out of the other account. And it's so funny when they do that. But it just goes to show you that there really is an organized propaganda hate machine against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. You know, Sussex Squad, we have been saying that for years. But anywho, back to the conversation that I had with a fellow squatty about this article that was written about the Invictus Games, which is going to be held in the UK in 2027. This article was published in the Daily Mail, and it was written by, a royal rodent twat that we're all very familiar with. And so there's really no point in me saying his name. But he writes this article, and the title is, and this is what cracks me up. The title is Prince Harry should resign from Invictus so it can have another royal Patreon. Really? Okay. So I did read the article. I did not click it. My fellow squatty that I had a very good conversation with had archived it for me, and so I was able to read it that way. But basically, the article starts off by saying that Invictus Games was founded by Prince Harry and the Prince and Princess of Wales. It's like, how petty can these people be, right? Now, we all know that when Prince Harry started the Invictus Games, that he was a part of the working royal family. He was underneath the royal foundation, right? Which included the Prince of Wales and Princess Wiglet. Oh, I'm sorry. The Prince and Princess of Wales, right? So we all know that when he started the Invictus Games, that he was underneath that umbrella. They all were underneath the umbrella of the Royal Foundation. Okay, so it starts off that way, making it clear he wants to let it be known, basically, that Prince Harry did not start this on his own, right? So anyway, the article basically is stating that according to a source, and these guys crack me up with these damn sources. It's always a source, right? It's always an unknown source. It's always a magical, mystical source that nobody knows who it is. Nobody has a clue where this source came from. Usually these sources come from inside, right? They're insiders, right? Who, for the most part, make unsubstantiated claims that are basically rumors, right? We have no idea if what these close sources are saying is true. We absolutely have no idea. Especially when it comes to Harry and Meghan, right? Because a lot of these claims, a lot of these rumors by these insiders, by these close sources, are always reported to the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Telegraph, the Sunday Times. There are always claims and rumors that are very negative. And the reason why they're very negative is because there's an agenda, right? The agenda is to constantly put out negative content in regards to Harry and Meghan, right? always slag Harry and Meghan, always prop up Fred and Gladys, will not and cannot. That's the agenda, that's the purpose, and they're going to continue to do that. So, anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of analyze this article. I'm not going to really go too much deep into it because we all know what this article is about. So, the article basically says that, that there's this close source uh, to the Invictus Games Foundation that told this rural road reporter that there is a concern that Harry is no longer the help to the charity that he once was. Okay, we've heard that before, right? And it goes on to say the Duke has become an increasingly divisive figure, particularly in the armed forces, and that is not good for Invictus. We're all about bringing people together and inspiring those that have suffered hardship. Now, Invictus is firmly established. It might be better if the Duke took a step back. Well, isn't that just lovely? Isn't that just wonderful? Okay. Now that the Invictus Games is firmly established, we think it's time that Prince Harry just give it to Prince William. That's basically what they're saying. Okay. Prince William has done absolutely nothing for the Invictus Games. However, now that it's established through Prince Harry's blood, sweat, and tears, we think it's okay for Prince Harry to go ahead and give it to Prince William, who never works, who has taken at least 10 vacations in the past 3 months, and who has moved into his 8th home this past year. Alrighty then. Okay, the royals have no shame. Okay, and when I say the royals, I'm talking about Prince William, Princess Wiglet, King Corrupt, and Rottweiler. They have no shame. Okay, they either want people to give them stuff, and if you don't give them stuff, then they'll just steal it. They'll either steal it or they'll take credit for it. Okay, I mean, history shows it. There is documented history that the royal family takes credit for things that they don't do, right? Or they steal it. All right, anyway. This article goes on to say, okay, I'm going to read, beginning quote, the issue is particularly sensitive because the next Invictus Games is due to be held in this country in Birmingham 2027, given Harry's estrangement from the royal family, which he has attacked publicly on numerous occasions, including his memoir Spare and the interview with Oprah Winfrey. It is undoubtful that any members would want to be seen alongside him in Birmingham. Stories have already appeared suggesting that the Invictus Games will invite the royals to attend in 2027, putting them in an awkward position, and this has led to further unease. It is worrying that such a worthy event seems to be used for PR, public relations purposes, says the source. Normally, senior members of the royal family would want to attend. It goes without saying that they support the forces to the hilt, so it would be unfortunate if they felt unable to because of Harry's presence. A royal source tells me if Harry were to resign as patron of Invictus, I'm sure they would have no trouble finding a new royal patron. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. There is so much to unpack there, right? Basically, what this story is saying is that, oh my God, the royal family, it puts them in a very awkward position, okay, to go to the Invictus Games and to support the veterans that fought for the UK. We're talking about veterans that put their bodies on the line, lost limbs, have traumatic brain injuries, have severe mental health challenges. Okay? But it puts the royal family in a very awkward position to go to the Invictus Games and support them because they can't be seen alongside Prince Harry because he wrote that god awful book Spare, and because he did that Oprah Winfrey interview slagging us off. So therefore we can't support those veterans that fought for our country because, Prince Harry wrote Spare and he did the interview with Oprah Winfrey, and it just puts us in a very, very awkward position. We can't do that. So, we just feel that it is in everybody's best interest for Prince Harry to step back and give the Invictus Games to Prince William so we can attend the Invictus Games and support the veterans. Now, there is something positive about the article. I do like the fact, and I'm pretty shocked, but I do like the fact that this British royal rodent twat actually reached out to the Invictus Foundation. And Rob Owen, who is the chief executive of the Invictus Games Foundation, actually responded, and he put out a statement. And actually he didn't put out a statement. This Royal Rodent reporter is actually saying that this is what Mr. Owen actually told them. So, beginning quote: "We are proud to have the Duke of Sussex as the patron and founder. The Invictus movement stems from his ideas and his passion for the international community of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, born out of his military service experience and his understanding of the power of sport to change lives and save lives. The spotlight he brings to the community and to our work has changed the perceptions of mental health, of military personnel, and of disability worldwide." End quote. So I'm very happy to read that the chief executive, Mr. Rob Owen of the Invictus Games Foundation, actually responded, and he told this royal rodent twat reporter, exactly how the Invictus Games Foundation feels about Prince Harry. I mean, bottom line, we all know that Prince Harry is Invictus. There is no Invictus Games without Prince Harry. I mean, he is the heart and soul of the Invictus Games. He is the heartbeat of the Invictus Games Foundation. We've seen it time and time and time again how, when these veteran athletes participate in these games, they say it with their whole chest how much the Invictus Games has changed their lives. Many break down in tears and say that the Invictus Games has saved their lives. And a lot of them, and it's not just a lot of them, all of them give Prince Harry credit for that. I think what this Royal Rodent reporter fails to realize and understand, and he or she may never realize and understand, that when it comes to the military community, especially when it comes to military veterans who have deployed and who have fought and engaged in war, there is a camaraderie that will never be broken among combat vets, among veterans that have served their country. That camaraderie will never, ever be broken. Okay? The royal family is not that important. Okay? A fellow veteran who fought alongside of another fellow veteran is way more important than the royal family. Okay? And the main reason why is because a fellow veteran that has fought for their country, okay, understands what that veteran has gone through. They can relate to what that veteran has gone through. Veteran families can relate to other veteran families. Okay, the average person can't relate to the royal family. Hell, the royal family can't relate to the average person. At the end of the day, the royal family is supposed to be about duty and service. King Charles, aka Corrupt Chuck, King Corrupt, he is head of state. King Charles is the commander in chief of the British Armed Forces. It is King Charles's duty to ensure that his veterans are supported. It is King Charles's duty to ensure that a senior member from the royal family attends the Invictus Games in 2027 that will be held in Birmingham. What this article is saying, and what this article is letting us know, what this article is letting the world know, what this article is letting the veterans who put their bodies on the line for the United Kingdom, who put their bodies on the line and some lost limbs and are suffering traumatic brain injury, have mental health challenges. What this article is saying to them is that their king could care less because his feelings come first. His feelings are a priority, not you, veterans who fought for the United Kingdom, who fought for king and country. You know, at the end of the day, British royal reporters who work for the Daily Mail, who work for the Sun, who work for the Telegraph, who work for the Sunday Times, who work for ITV, all of the British social news networks and magazines and newspapers. Those guys speak for the royal family. They represent the royal family. So therefore, I hope and pray that they continue to write articles such as this one. In closing, I wanted to leave you guys with a different perspective in regards to the Invictus Games being held in the UK. Many Success Squad members don't want the Invictus Games being held in the UK for obvious reasons, right? However, there are many that do. We have to keep in mind that there are a lot of British squaddies. There are a lot of squaddies that are from Britain that are diehard Prince Harry and Meghan fans. Of course, the British press will never tell you that, but it's true. We have a lot of members in the Success Squad that are from the United Kingdom. So anyway, I came across this post on X from somebody who's in the Success Squad, and this person is American because they have it posted on their page that they're American. I hadn't noticed this squatty before on X. However, the username is Meghan Reigns. Okay, they go by Meghan Reigns, and actually I like that username. And this is what Meghan Reigns' response was to the trash article about Prince Harry stepping back from the Invictus Games and giving it to, a member of the royal family. So this is Meghan Reigns' response. Beginning quote. I was against Invictus Games 2027 being in the UK because I knew British gossip trash twats would make it about the royal family, not the veterans. Now I'm happy Invictus Games 2027 will be held there because they will have to witness Prince Harry's success and how much he is loved and respected by veterans in his home country. You know what? I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm Special K Thoughts, and I'm out.